welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd. We're your host, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, we've done a few specials lately, like, you know, the 1000th show and the Cobra Kai Karate Kid thing. But we're getting back on track now, and this is a Daisy, and we are covering Spaceballs, right? So this is my choice. This is last Daisy was Robin Hood Men in Tights, and that was because that chained off of Kevin Costner's Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. But I chained off of this, not for the obvious connection. It's Mel Brooks isn't my connection. It's Dom DeLuise. Dom DeLuise was Don Giovanni, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was the mafioso character
in Men in Tights. But in this is Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
Spaceballs. I mean, we've got a long history with this. We've both seen it quite a few times, haven't we? Did you know there was an animated series? I've just saw on Wikipedia.
I found out about it as we were watching it. So
okay.
Apparently it's not very good. So.
Oh, right, okay. So this is a 1987 film from Mel Brooks. Basically, it's mostly Star Wars they're ripping on, but there's a bit of Star Trek and other sort of franchises, isn't there? So it's essentially, a comedy riff on Star Wars. The main characters being Dark Helmet, who's obviously Darth Vader, played by Mick Moranis.
You got Lone Star, who's Han Solo.
Han Solo, stroke Luke Skywalker.
With a bit of Luke Skywalker, yeah. We got Barth, the Chewbacca copy, and then Princess Vespa, who's Princess Leia.
And then Mog. Barth the Mog.
Barth as Chewbacca, yeah.
Yeah, excellently played by John Candy, it has to be said.
Yeah.
I like the main cast of this. I thought it was quite charming. A lot of fun. And we also get Joan Rivers as Dot Matrix, which is like a female C-3PO kind of type. With Joan Rivers' voice. Yeah. And we get some other sort of cameos. Mel Brooks appears in two different roles in this. They're quite distinct, so it's fine.
That's a Yogurt, the Yoda parody, which not much effort with the name there. But,
Yogurt. Yeah, just call me plain Yogurt.
President Screw, who's basically Palpatine for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. It's really quite goofy. I mean, this was after Return of the Jedi, right? So we're talking quite a way after, 10 years after Star Wars came out. The first Star Wars came out. And Mel Brooks. I mean, it's not hilarious, but it is charming and kind of fun to watch. And there's some really, really obvious sight gags, but there's the ones that made me laugh the most, I have to say, are the gags you don't expect and just come out of nowhere and don't reference anything. They're just really stupid, funny gags. I thought Pullman was pretty good in his comic role as well. And Daphne Zuniga, I've always kind of liked. I've seen her in other sort of comedies, teen comedies as well. But after this, I think she moved into like soap opera. She was like Queen Bitch in various soap operas, I believe, if I remember rightly. That was kind of a space, that was her thing. Oh my God, there's a sequel in development. How about that? Oh my goodness.
I mean, there's I think it's Mel Brooks has said about the ongoing joke. The sequel's going to be Spaceballs 3: The Search for Spaceballs 2.
I couldn't totally believe it because they were taking the Mickey out throughout the film about sequels and franchising. That was their big
merchandising.
So apparently the planet Spaceballs run out of air. They've used all their air up. They live in little ball things. And they want to steal it from the nearby planet Druidia, which gives Mel Brooks a few jokes about Jewishness, right? It's just funny she doesn't look Jewish and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bit of that going on. She's about to be married to this Prince Valium who keeps falling asleep, is constantly yawning, and she does a runner. But at the same time, the plan of the Spaceballs, Dark Helmet has planned to kidnap the princess, to hold her to ransom, to get the key code to unlock the planet's air defense
There's like
system.
an air shield
Yeah.
Which is weird because Star Wars kind of did that later in Rogue One. So
Yeah, they also
yeah,
wasn't that was a plot in Highlander 2, if I remember rightly. Or something like it. Something about protecting it. Well, protect it, a fake ozone layer or something. But yeah. So we get Lone Star and Morg, and Barth, his Morg, traveling through the planet in basically a Winnebago with wings set up as a spaceship, isn't it? Right, some of the visual references I quite like. It starts with a ship in space, a bit like, you know how Star Wars starts with a ship going on and on and on, so you think it's
iconic.
They do that.
You see the scope of like the protagonists running away from the villain, so it's massive. Except it's a long pan across a whole model that they look to have
music
made.
that sounds a bit like Jaws, isn't
it? Yeah.
All this. And basically we also get to see Dark Helmet, Rick Moranis wearing this ridiculously big helmet. Lots of jokes about helmets throughout this. I always think of this as a kids' film, but it's a bit sweary.
It's really not a kids' film. Like, barring Pizza, like, not even counting Pizza the Hut and the very gruesome Aliens reference. Yeah. Like, characters constantly swear. There's so many jokes about, do you think she gives good helmet? Or something like that.
There's lots of, rub my helmet, all this kind of stuff. However, I'm just looking at the rating when it came out. It was a 12. Well, there wasn't such a thing as a 12 in 1987. So
okay, so it was
I
a PG.
assume it's probably a PG. Yeah, probably a PG. 12s didn't come out to 89, so it's reversed. Yeah. What's it? They've obviously reclassified it since. That sounds about right, to be honest. Other characters we get a guy in the control room that makes funny noises, and he goes.
It's the man of 1,000 voices.
So. Mostly famous for the Police Academy series, but he's kind of fun. And there's like really obvious pun-based jokes, like we need to jam the radar, and they literally fire a pot of jam into the radar, and it's raspberry. Things like that.
Well, that's the clue he gets. He'd like taste it. It's like there's only one person that would dare raspberry jam me. Lone Star.
Lone Star. We also see Lone Star's being chased for money he owes to Pizza the Hut, which is where Dom DeLuise comes in. I quite like. It's very short. The bit with Dom DeLuise as Pizza the Hut and his sidekick Vinny. I thought his sidekick Vinny was pretty good as well. But basically, he's a massive pizza and he's melting and meanwhile, his henchman is eating bits of him, saying, "You're delicious, boss." Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Right, let's start walking through the plot. I'm jumping around a lot, so let's get through the plot. So they're trying to steal the air from Turidir. Yeah. They want to get the princess. Yeah, she's run away.
She from her arranged marriage, and she starts to get captured. With Dot Matrix, who's on like roller skates, and she's like holding the veil, so she just kind of gets dragged along. Then the king hires Lone Star to come and save him for conveniently the same amount that Pizza the Hut wants from him. Yeah, so it's like, we'll do that.
We would do that, and they got basically the Spaceballs got a tractor beam on a ship. We also should mention on the ship with Dark Helmet is another sidekick. His lesser officer is Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. Yeah. As well as all the assholes.
And the arseholes. They're all called arseholes because I'm surrounded by arseholes. And Colonel Sanders, that name exists just to make one chicken joke, doesn't it, really? I don't think there was more than one. I thought that was just the one.
No, it's literally just, what are you, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?
Chicken? Yeah, so there was that. And there's also a running gag that the president keeps getting surprised by his wall turning into a TV visor. And he makes jokes like, "This is an unlisted wall. You shouldn't be calling me on this number." Things like that. We see Lone Star and Morg more. But I really like John Candy in this, and his outfit's kind of, his makeup and that's kind of fun. He's constantly got a wagging tail with a mind of its own, so he claims.
Yeah.
And his ears kind of prick up when he hears stuff and all of that kind of stuff. So they go and rescue, basically put a step ladder down from the ship to the other, which is ridiculous, and get out through that. Well, Dark Helmet captures the ship and starts issuing threats, but they're not in the ship, so
Yeah.
And there's also a running joke that she's a Druish princess, so she's really spoiled and wants her own way and everything. Morg has to carry all her coordinated luggage, which is a massive amount of stuff. So there's all that. But Lone Star and the crew managed to get away by going to light speed, right?
Yeah, they go to light speed, so the Spaceballs progress past that to ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed,
which
is
tested.
Ridiculously too fast, and comedy things happen.
It goes so fast it leaves a tartan trail through space.
Yeah,
and
it's plaid. It's not light speed; it's plaid speed or something. I didn't quite understand the joke, but okay.
Neither.
But that causes Eagle. Is it Eagle 5? Eagle 5.
Yeah, Eagle 5 is their ship. It's the Winnebago.
Yeah, Lone Star ship. To run out of fuel because they burn all their fuel up, and they have to land on this desert planet, which looks like Tatooine. Right?
Yeah, it's Tatooine, but yeah.
Yeah, and they're kind of marching about and running, going water, and Doc Matrix going oil, and then they look in her luggage because they're carrying. Morg is like knackered by carrying all, and she's got a giant hair
calling
dryer.
him Morg. It's Barf.
Barf. Why do I keep calling him Morg? Barf. It's a gigantic hairdryer. And Lone Star just throws it out and says, "No, we're not taking this." But they do all pass out from the heat, like they're gonna die.
Yeah,
but they get
and then
found.
They seem to be called the Ding-Dings.
Ding-Dings. And they're all...
the Dinks.
The Dinks. They're kind of Jawas, right? But they're also kind of the Seven Dwarves. There's even a joke about, is this Disney World or something? And they're singing basically to the tune of Colonel Bogey, aren't they? Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they get taken to a cave. Oh no, they find this hidden cave, and that contains yogurt. The Yoda, basically.
With a weird little Wizard of Oz parody where there's like a giant statue that they think is him, and then like a little thing opens up and they walk out. He walks out.
Who acts like the frightened one? One of them acts like the frightened one. Is it?
Both Dot Matrix and Barf.
Oh yeah,
try to run away.
Like the cowardly lion,
yeah.
And old Yogurt comes out and starts saying, I know you, Yogurt. You're Yogurt the Grand, Yogurt the Powerful. And he goes, no, just call me plain Yogurt. Okay. And he explains he's a master of the Swartz, and which uses a ring to control things and stuff like that. Okay. So, and he starts talking about merchandising.
Merchandising.
He's got all this merchandise, how important it is. Meanwhile, Dark Helmet doesn't know what to do, and so Colonel Sanders, or whatever his name is, suggests they get the video of the film.
Yeah, they get Spaceballs the movie out, the video for it out,
and he goes, but we're still making the movie, and he says it's so fast now. It gets anyway. Fast forward to the bit that they get to, and there's a bit of comedy stuff where they're what's on screen is what they're watching, and
So it's copying them. Yeah.
So Lone Star and Vespa also start kind of crushing a bit on each other, but Vespa says, no, I have to marry a prince. There's only one prince in the universe left, which is Prince Vespa. Also, Lone Star shows Yogurt a medallion with weird symbols on it, which was found on him when he was a baby. And Yogurt says, oh yeah, I know what this means. And he goes, the wise men of the galaxy concern. He goes, wise men, they're wise guys. And he goes, I can tell you what it means. He goes, what's it mean? He goes, I'll tell you later. Yeah. So they find out that they've crashed on the Spaceballs by using videotape. Find out they've on a planet and how to intercept them, right? And Helmet captures. Let's think. Vesper and basically they lure. Dark Helmet lures Vesper out by pretending using the Schwartz or whatever to be her father, right? So she thinks she's going to evolve, and Doc Matrix is with her, so that he captures those two. Lone Star and Buff got to take chase, but Yoga gives him a ring and a fortune cookie, right?
Right,
okay. And he says this ring can channel the Schwartz, right? And also he's been practicing, hasn't he? Lone Star's been practicing the Schwartz with Yogurt, like Ben Kenobi and Luke, all that kind of stuff. The Helmet threatens Roland by threatening to give Princess Vesper a reverse nose job. Basically, give her a old nose
she's going to give it. Yeah.
And she looks like Wicked Witch of the West with his nose. She's like, no. And Roland relents, gives them the password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
They said only an idiot would use that on his luggage. And then President Screw comes and goes, what's the code? He goes, 1, 2, 3. He goes, I use that on my luggage. And they kind of just look at each other. So they what happens next? They start sucking the air. They transform. Spaceballs 1 turns into a giant maid with a vacuum cleaner, like a transformer.
Yeah, it turns into Mega Maid.
So then they open the shield and start sucking out air from Druidia. So we see people on Druidia start passing out and stuff like that. But Lone Star uses his ring to use the Schwartz to turn the ring to blow.
A duel of Schwartz. He has a brief Schwartz duel with Dark Helmet.
Yeah.
Where Dark Helmet does, I'm your father's brother's cousin's nephew's old roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
No, absolutely nothing. Great. That's a good joke. But Lone Star uses the Schwartz to reverse the airflow and sort of beat everyone. Then he goes and finds a hidden self-destruct button, a big red button.
That's where he has the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have got permission from George Lucas to do all this. A master.
Well, yeah, they did. The one condition is that there was no merchandising for it, which is why there's the whole bit about merchandising.
Yeah, watch out for the Spaceballs merchandising. And there's a really weird bit where they're all going for the emergency escape pods, and like a circus kind of appears.
Yeah, a whole batch of different people just shows up.
Yeah,
and it's a bit mental.
There's a bloke in a bear outfit.
It's a joke, but not a joke. There's a circus wanders through, and they all get in pods and leave, and then a bear scares, I think it's the president, out of the last ones.
Yeah.
And it happens, but then eventually Mega Maid blows up. And I should say, it turns into to launch the escape pod, several prongs come out of her maid bonnet, and then of course the ship blows up. But then it crash lands into the Planet of the Apes,
and it looks like the Statue of Liberty, doesn't it?
That's the gag here.
The gag, and as Spaceballs crawl out the nose, 2 apes look at each other and say, "Are those Spaceballs?" Who goes, "Oh shit! There goes the planet." So that made me laugh. That did make me laugh. There was also a Star Trek reference in one bit of business where the president had to go to a room, and they beamed him down, and his body got turned around. His head was on the wrong way, and all this. And in the end, he goes, "No, don't beam me nowhere." And one's going, "Snotty, beam me twice last night," and I was very satisfied. There's all that kind of stuff, right? Anyway, so there's a bit of reference into Star Trek as well, and Snotty, who's a Scotsman, as well.
Yeah.
And then they Lone Star Bar find out Pizza the Hut ate himself to death when he got locked in his limousine.
Yeah.
So they don't owe the money anymore. They turn up Princess Presper and then leave. She's annoyed. She goes, he went, just took his money. And Roland says, oh no, he didn't take the money. He only took $248 for expenses and taxes. And Vesper realises he's not just after money. And but even so, she's going to get married. Lone Star and Above then go to a diner where we see basically the crew of Alien sitting there.
Yeah, they're all kind of like sitting around. And
most of them are lookalikes, but it is John Hurt for sure. As Kane, right?
That is actually John Hurt as Kane. And he starts coughing, spluttering, and then his chest bursts. The alien comes out and he goes, oh, no, not again.
And it does a little song and dance number along the bar.
Yeah, it does Hello, My Baby.
Hello, My Baby.
Made famous by the Looney Tunes. So.
Yeah, and then leaves, and Lone Star and Barth look at each other and just go, check!
Check, please.
But they also then realise there's a hidden message in the cookie which explains that the medallion activates yogurt to appear out of nowhere.
A medallion that Lone Star has had apparently since birth that no one knows the meaning of. Is apparently it shows him to be a prince.
He's a prince. There's the last, so he can bury there. So they get to Druidia just in time to stop the wedding. Lone Star announces a prince, and they get married. Meanwhile, Prince Valium's falling asleep.
He's dozed off.
And then they fly off. Yeah.
Yeah, they fly off and just married.
There's a lot of corny jokes. There are quite a few laughs.
Corny puts it lightly, really.
Yeah. Pullman apparently was recruited because Mel Brooks' wife, Anne Bancroft, saw him in a play and thought he'd be good for the part. And apparently he'd been trying to get a big name person in the role, like Tom Cruise. So yeah, and I thought that was okay to go. The studio was okay with that to get Paul Pullman in because he wasn't that well known because they already had Moranis and John Candy in, and they felt that was a good enough draw. Yeah, it's all right. I thought it was well cast. It's an okay film. It's passable.
But it's funny, very funny while you're watching it.
And kind of not. I'd say fairly memorable. I mean, I haven't watched this in a couple of decades, and I remember most of it. And there's just some silly little bits. I'm just trying to remember. I do remember laughing most at lines I'd just completely forgotten, which came out of left field and weren't really appropriate even. To the material.
She doesn't look Jewish.
Yeah.
What?
Things like that. Yeah. It was, but there were some other ones which is just, what? What's he talking about? That's fun. But it was funny. But you don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a fairly charming film. I quite like this one. It wouldn't be near the top of my Mel Brooks pantheon, but it's a totally watchable comedy and fun for the time it was made. I've just realised Scroob is backwards. Oh no, not backwards, but an anagram of Brooks. I never realised that before. That's weird. I'm trying to think if was there anyone else in it we haven't talked about? Not really. We've talked about the main stars, haven't we? It was all right. How would you rate this?
I'd rate this a good 7 or 8.
I'll give it a 6, I think. 6.5 maybe. It's that kind of thing. I thought it was fair enough. So that was our Daisy Daisy. So you have the next Daisy Daisy next time.
Okay, I've got to think this over. So.
Yeah, you got a few options. You got John Hurt, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
All right then. And weirdly, there is a connection. Do you know what it is? The Elephant Man was made by Brooks Films.
Okay.
So Mel Brooks was the producer of The Elephant Man. Get that?
That's
How about
strange.
That is strange. I'm working with David Lynch as well. That's a strange, wonderful film though, amazing film. But it's just its parentage is so weird, right? Its parentage is so weird. All right, then. Let's wind up there. So, to everyone out there, may the Schwartz be with you, and bye from me.
Bye.